Hello everyone, this is Candy the 614 Stitcher, and today is Monday, April the 17th, 2023, and this is my Flosstube episode number 78. I would like to say hello and welcome to any and all new subscribers. I hope that you enjoy what you see and that I can enable you with a project or two. And to my returning friends and subscribers, thank you so very much for coming back each and every time that I do upload a video. I missed Saturday. I was at Keepsakes, and then I missed yesterday because I was otherwise engaged. And so I'm coming to you today with an update for the past week. Nothing real exciting is going on, just stitching and the weather changing. We had beautiful weather for most of last week. The weekend was perfect, and today I have my hoodie back on because the weather took a plummeting nosedive temperature change, and so it is back to cold, rainy weather. We actually also had hail today, so if you don't like the way the weather is, wait 15 minutes and it will change, is what we say around here in Ohio. So it is definitely doing that. I have been doing some stitching and trying to also do some organizing. I'm not doing so great on the organizing, but the stitching, I have been able to come up. You know, I have been able to get some stitches in. So we're going to jump right into it. For today's episode, I have new starts, whips, and plans. I did not have the ability yet to pull some of the charts from my own stash that I think would make for very good mental health May charts. So I am hoping that on Saturday when I record my next video that I'll be able to bring those out for you. I'm sure whatever you have in your stash, if it means something in terms of mental health to you, that it will be fine. So I do have quite a few in my stash that signifies or has some kind of connection to mental health. Most of them are, you know, be positive, think kindly of yourself, do for yourself kinds of projects. So anything that, if you would like to participate in Mental Health May, that you feel speaks to you as a mental health project, I encourage you to start it on May the 1st and work on it during the month of May. So I guess that means I just did announcements at the beginning of the Flosstube. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into the new starts. I do have 3 new starts this week. So we're going to jump right into it. The first 2 new starts I received, my Life is Just a Bowl of Cross Stitch for May. And here are what those charts look like. So the needle roll and the pin pillow. And I have started them first. So I'll be showing you it's not a pin pillow, it's a pillow. And here is where I have gotten to so far on it. I have so far stitched 691 stitches on this project. It is being stitched. This is a hanging thread from the back. I was working on this earlier today. It is being stitched on a 16 count Charles Craft Aida, and I believe it's lamb's wool. They never provide what the fabric count color is, but I believe it's lamb's wool. And I'm using the called for DMCs, and that is where I am on it so far. It is a bird sitting on a rose, and that is where I have gotten to so far. They call these stamps because of the little border around it. It makes it look like a stamp. So that's where I am so far on it. I am working towards a finish on these before the end of the month so that I can get them finished up in time for the first day of May. And the second is the needle roll, and I have worked some on that. And so I have the word May. This is the bird's nest. Pardon me. And then there's a rose with a tag on it, like you're selling it. On the bottom here, I need to put in, there are sporadic white stitches, so I'll be putting those in. And on this one, I have the bird left to be put in. So those are both my new starts. This is the needle roll, and this is the pillow, and it is Life is Just a Bowl of Cross Stitch May, and those are by Pine Mountain Designs by Sandra Workman. My mom's name is Sandra, so every time I see that it looks similarly spelled, I automatically go to Sandra, but it's Sandra Workman of Pine Needles. Oh, sorry. I got stuff falling over here that I'm not even touching. So those were my first two new starts. And then my third new start is, I put it in my one of my Vicky Stitchin button bags. It is Lebanon House by Rosewood Manor, and this was made as a 25 year anniversary chart for Keepsakes. And here is, I still have it in the Q-snap because I'm still going to be putting stitches in it, but I am stitching this 28 count over 1 using the called for flosses, and that is where I am so far. I did start this on Saturday, April the 15th. The name of the fabric is Clouds, and it is by Atomic Ranch Fabrics. I am in the Rogue Stitching Club, and this was the fabric of the month for one of the months that I don't know which month it was. They don't put on the tag what the month is. But that is where I am right now. I'm trying to see if it'll focus a little better. As you can see with the 5 little motifs that I have there, I'm using the variegated floss, and that is just how it came out to the variegation. So it started at the lighter and is going down the darker. Those are these little motifs around the word so far. So far, I've put in 100 stitches on this project. And so I have another 100 stitches that I need to put in before the end of the month to make the 200 start goal that I have. So let me show you. Here is the color palette. And there is the fabric on it. I was a little concerned about the blues that are in the chart, but they are actually inside of another part, so the blues will not fade away into the fabric. So that is my color palette and my start on Lebanon House sampler by Rosewood Manor. I'm trying to be more cognizant of my facial expressions. I've noticed that in the videos, like I'm always like, or, you know, something where I'm not smiling. I just have that kind of, you know how they call it resting face? That's just my resting face. And so it's not that I'm angry or upset or anything. It's just when I'm doing this, I'm in deep concentration to make sure I'm saying everything right and making sure I'm doing it all right. So, okay. So now that I have moved on, those were all the whips that I had for this week. I'm going to go ahead on and get started with the whips. And as I go through my whips, I'll be explaining what I used each whip for. If you recall, and for those of you that are new, I am participating in a couple of different Facebook groups. I'm participating in Whip Warriors, and that is with the categories. And then I'm participating in Road Trip, which is a branch off of Whip Warriors. And then I participate in the magazine monthly cross stitch group, challenge group. And that is run by Carolyn Zook and Robin Hall. So as I go through, I'll be explaining that. Okay, so I have my acrostic pulled up and I have my notes. So I'm going to go with the first, okay, and then I'm in another group called WIPGO, and that's what this chart is, this pattern is for. It is Flea Market Flowers by Lori Holt. I also am using this for the letter H in categories because her last name is Holt. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where it is now. So, it just wasn't down far enough. So my WIPGO goal is 700 stitches, and I have made that goal now. I only had this little tiny motif in. Then I finished the rest of this flower. So the blue flower is brand spanking new. And so is the yellow and orange flower. And that really, I debated heavily on the orange and yellow flower. I am doing a color conversion on all this, on the whole chart. It calls for DMC. I am stitching it on a 16 count lamb's wool Ada by Witchelt, and the called for threads are DMC. I am using DMC floss. However, I have a color conversion that was given to me by the Wandering Stitcher, which is Liz, who is also one of the duo of the Antique Needleworkers. And that is where I am now. I put in a total of, well, shoot. I put in a total of 710 stitches, which met my WIPGO goal. And I used 300 of those 710, 320 stitches for, no, I need to update that. Okay. So So my WIPGO goal is 700 stitches, and I made that goal. And then I put in another I've put in 320 stitches, sorry. 320 stitches for the campground setup in road trip. I'm like looking at my notes and I'm like, la, 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 la. Okay, so I made my WIPGO goal with this piece. It was my number 5. So I made my 700 stitches with it. And then I used, out of those 700 stitches, I used all of them for the road trip. And right now I am traveling to a bed and breakfast called Bird in Hand Village Inn and Suites. And that's where I'm traveling to. Actually, I'm there. I'm setting up my camp. And for my camp setup, I need 1,500 stitches. No, I'm sorry. I need 1,700 stitches because I don't have a food item. So that is where I am on Flea Market Flowers. Okay, so that was Flea Market Flowers. Okay, so next up, I'll be showing you my spring Quakers. I just pulled all that floss out. And here's a picture of the model, and it is by Rosewood Manor. And here's a picture of where I was when I last showed it. And here is a picture, and here is where I am now. So as you can see, I started the 3rd motif on the page. I put in 231 stitches, and that is this whole outer ring, these, and all of these stitches in the inside also, for a total of 231 stitches. I am using the called for Valdani threads, and I am stitching this on a 28 count Garden Party by Stitch Me. This is also my seasonal Sunday stitch. And it was my WIPGO for last month. So I have, I think, 62 more stitches to get to the WIPGO to be able to say that I met my WIPGO. Yes, that I met my WIPGO for March. I started this later on in March after spring after the spring started. So there is where I am with it now. There you go. I am absolutely loving this piece. I look forward to stitching on it on Sundays. Because once you get your groove down, now let me just say this, it is a little tedious because there are a lot of color changes. But when you have big motifs like that, and then you have to work within the inside, the way that I am stitching it is I am trying to make sure to stitch the color that I'm working on. And it doesn't always work because I'm one that will use other motifs to count off of. So it doesn't bother me to have to switch threads as much as you do, but I am absolutely loving it. For spring Quakers, I've used those 231 stitches as part of my 1700 camp setup. Right now in the road trip, it's all about camp setup because you need 1700 stitches to do that with. WIP number 3. I don't even know why I put this back here. I just put it back here, not thinking. Is my temperature butterfly. And this is a rendering of what mine will look like. This is by Stitching Mommy. And here's a picture of where mine was when I last showed it, which was last week. And here is where I am now. I have filled in a few more of the dates on the even side. I actually stitched on this for 114 stitches. And I stitched 3 of those. Like, I actually stitched this one, and this one this morning. And it is also being used as the camp setup. So that was Temperature Butterfly. I am stitching this on a 28 count Artemis, 1 thread over 2 squares. And I'm using a sulky conversion on this chart. This is also in my year of WIPs, and so I am making a push to get June done so that I can start outlining July, August, and September. Pardon me. My last WIP for today is Amazing Grace. And that is by Heartstrings Samplery. And I love this piece. I worked on this for Easter Sunday. So much so that that's all I worked on was this chart. And here is a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where it is now. So I've put in this motif, the word safe thus far, and the beginning of the same motif that'll be on the other side. I am working, so this was my New Year, New Start. And I would love to get it finished before the new year rolls around again. I have a, oh, that's right. This is a 14 count, I believe, Ada that was in my stash that matched almost perfectly the called for fabric. And I am stitching it with the called for threads. There are only 3. Gunmetal, Loudon, and the red is, sorry, The red is Campfire by Classic Colorworks. The gunmetal is Weeks Dye Works, and so is the Loudon. And that is what it looks like. And I simply love this piece. I attended services regularly, and this was always a hymn that was sung. And so it brings back great memories for me. I have stitched. I'm really not quite sure what happened. I was talking and my camera just shut off. So I'm going to have to go back and see where or what happened. But I was showing you where I am with my goals. And so here is a picture of where I am. And as you can see, I'm getting very close. The seasonal sun sign is in my plans. And so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead on with my plans right now. So this week, starting today, the magazine monthly group is stitching for Earth Day, and it's called Earth Day, What Is It Worth? And you have to get either 500 stitches or 5 hours on a project. And my project is seasonal sun sign. So while I'm waiting for this video to upload, I will start working on that. That is by Ink Circles. The next plan is I need to finish the back stitch for the tree frog, which is for a smalls exchange in May. I will be working on 25/7 with Life. I have been working on 25/7 with Life is Just a Bowl of May, like a bowl of May. I always get the Just a Bowl of May, get the title of that messed up for some reason in my head. So I will continue to use that as my 25/7 project. And I'm actually using it in both, doing 25/7 for both on the same time. So I'll do 25 minutes or finish out a thread on one, pick up the other one and do another 25 minutes because I want to get them both finished in time to display them next month. That was part of my haul that came in that I didn't wait to share. I just started stitching it. And then hopefully one more stitching session for Temperature Butterfly will meet my WIPGO goal. Temperature Butterfly is my number 17 this month for WIPGO. I utilized WIPGO weekend, and that's what helped me with to get the 700 stitches for Flea Market Flowers. So I was so excited when I was told that it was WIPGO weekend. I immediately picked up my Flea Market Flowers and started stitching on it. So those are my goals for the rest of this week, even though it's already Monday. So I do have some investments that I would like to share with you. I'm going to move this all back. And I know that you keep hearing the dinging of my phone. I am in a Facebook chat group, and they are all getting online to chat. And so my phone is going off. Albert, Mommy can't do that right now, please. You need to go lay down. He always gets from up underneath. So, like, I'll get him all settled and everything before I start my video. And then, before the video is, before I'm done recording, he gets up and starts running around. And I do that so that, like, I can do the video without having to pause and stop and all the things, like, but he don't seem to understand that. So again, I said that I went to Keepsakes this weekend, and this is the bag that I bring my investments back home in. So the first piece is was a piece of Stitchy Kindness. It came, it's a bunny rabbit needle minder, and one of the ladies at the shop, Tiffany, I'm not sure if she watches my video, but if you do, hi Tiffany. She made each one of us a little egg carton and put little tiny chocolate Easter eggs in it. And then it had one slot for the needle minder, and mine's is a red bunny. So thank you so very much. They were meant to give out at Easter, but because, you know, we weren't down there, I wasn't down there. She passed out quite a few of them on Saturday. And then in my Keepsakes haul bag, here's some more Stitchy Kindness that I received. Someone brought in floss holders and put them on the table. These are in the shape of butterflies. And this one is, it just says whips on it. And it has a nice tag on it. And this one it opens. So those come in handy. I'm going to start using, I have a ton from being at StitchCon and other retreats where I've received floss tags. And I'm going to start using them because I don't want them to just go to waste. And I've run out of the little plastic holders that I had, so I'm going to start using them. My other piece of Stitchy Kindness was this tape measure to celebrate 310 Day. And I think that was it. Yes. So my purchases actually were, I purchased this chart. I hadn't seen it at the shop before, but I seen it this time, and so I picked it up, and it is the Statehood Splendor series, and they had Ohio, so I picked up Ohio. And it really gives nice, fun facts about the state of Ohio, which I knew the ones that they put in here. And so it was good to pick this up, and I'll have to put it on display. Our state's birthday is on March the 1st, so I'll have to get this stitched up and make a little vignette back there for Ohio's birthday, which is on March the 1st. And then right next to it, I have not stitched Prairie Schooler Santas before. I have been gifted some, and I do plan on stitching them. I picked this one up myself, though. It's called Snowy Night, and I thought it was really pretty with the snowflakes all around him. So I do plan on stitching this. I'm a snowflake fanatic. And so I picked that up also. And then I made a purchase from the Fat Quarter Shop. I have already started thinking about Christmas gifts. And because I'm a slow to start sewer, I decided to go ahead on and get started early with some Christmas projects. So I picked up a few jelly rolls, which I guess I could show them to you. But then I also picked up a couple of, one chart that I really wanted, and I just seen another chart that I need to pick up. So this is the Stitch Card Set P with all of the sewing notions on it. And now I'm going to have to pick up set O, because I just saw it and it was super cute also. So that is my Stitch Card Set P. And then I received my Floss Fix from Fat Quarter Shop. And this is barn door, barrel cactus, bean sprout, bejeweled, Bella Rose, and Betty Bluebell. Barn door, barrel cactus, bean sprout, bejeweled, Bella Rose, and Betty Bluebell. So that is the Floss Fix for the month of April. And then I was trolling through Facebook, and my friend sells her bags on Facebook, and I saw this bag and was like, me please. This is from Stitchin Button, and that is the outside, and I love that. And here is the inside, and she included some floss tags. So I will be putting a project in this very soon. Not only am I have run out of project bags, the fabric kind. I've also run out of the ones that I pick up from Amazon. And so I just decided that I wanted a cute bag for a change. And so I picked this one up. And here is, isn't that cute? Here is the zipper pull for it. So thank you so very much, Vicki. I love it. I am going to be moving around some projects to put something in that bag for the spring. It will, if you are new here, I have separated my whips out by season. And so I have winter, spring, summer, and autumn. And so I'll be, you know, just getting a couple of bags here and there to update or to put in with my stash for all of my whips, because I separate them out. I also need to do one more separation for Representation Matters, excuse me, so that it will have its own case also. I store all my stuff in totes. Albert and his hair are everywhere, so that's how I store my projects. So those are my investments. I have given you my plans. I believe that is all of them. Oh, I was going to show you the jelly rolls. So I picked up a Riley Blake, and it's called Adele in Winter, and you can't really see what it's like, but it is all wintry themed. And then I also picked up, I believe in Angels. And it is a very muted Christmas palette also. And so there are several ideas for the Riley Blake's company calls them roly-polies, and I still call them jelly rolls. Those are jelly rolls, and so I'll be making a few things with some jelly rolls for Christmas gifts, and I want to get started on them early. So that is that. I hope you all enjoyed this floss tube. I don't know, it kind of threw me off once the camera cut off and shut me out. So I'm sorry that I seem to just be rambling now. So if you are new to my channel, or you were it was a recommendation that you view my video, please consider liking and subscribing. I am closing in on 1,500 subscribers, and I really appreciate everyone that keeps coming back for my videos. I appreciate all of the comments. I have read them, and I'm just looking to continue to keep increasing my content on the channel. So if you have any suggestions on things you would like to see me do, please put those in the comments also. I'm always up for trying something different and expanding my horizons. So I appreciate you all so very much, and I hope to see you again on Saturday. Take care, everyone, and good night. Bye.